Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dubious Book Club podcast, where I, Aubrey, inflict my taste in books on my friends and make them talk about it. We're going to be discussing the second half of Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRoux, and I have a bunch of dubious creatures here with me. Introduce yourself, dubious creatures.
No one do it at once. Damn. All right, I'll go first. Hey, what's up? I'm Misfit Playland. If you've ever interacted with our socials, that's me.
Hi, I'm Ilona Katseta. I played Ambella in the holiday episode, and I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes coordination. If you've ever read any of our audio transcripts, that's likely me.
Hi, Sawyer, or Pirate on the Discord. I'm the storyteller for The Vampire with No Name, and also the lead creative for Dubious Creatures Press. If you've ever wondered what circle of daddy issues flavored hell I've been consigned to in order to herd these particular brats around San Arroyo, that's me. I am that guy.
It's certainly true. Quick note before we really get into things. As before, the source material features depictions of death, sexual content, graphic violence, substance abuse, death by suicide, and in particular, it has kink fetish content, horror elements, non-consensual drugging, depictions of heart kink and edgeplay, and consensual non-consent. So yeah, if these are not your things, this is your warning. Or if you need to take a break, do that. It'll be fine. We'll still be here when you come back. So so the first half of the book takes place in modern day Washington, Abellum, this small fictional town. Ray returns home, and through a incredibly unlikely series of events, finds a grimoire, summons a demon, learns that she is going to be sacrificed to an elder god beneath the town, seduces said demon, has sex with him many times, and we ended things with her trapping him in a binding circle, which I'm sure is going to go great for her.
Okay, seduces is a stretch. More like consensually falls onto his crazy demon dick several times.
I think Leon did more of the seducing than Ray did, in all fairness.
Ray was very into it the entire time, but it was initiated by Leon.
Yes.
Yeah, just to clarify something.
Yeah.
Ray didn't seduce shit.
She wanted to. She did think about it.
She did.
That would imply that Ray is an active participant in anything, including her own fucking plotline.
She's got some moments.
She tries.
She tries.
She paid to look after. Come on.
Does she? Oh, okay, are any of those moments like non-demon dick related? I'm genuinely asking. Yeah.
Wait, no, yeah.
No.
There's some.
She does technically, early in the book, decide to try to fake summon a demon. That is a choice she actively makes.
That was a choice that she made. Mm-hmm. Yep.
We made a choice
For
to
her
stab the god at the end.
For her YouTube channel.
She did that. So, I mean, I don't know how that would help her YouTube channel stabbing the god.
Okay, but in the end, like, we know that Demon Land...
Sorry, the way that phrase is like, yes, she decided to stab a god for the gram, which, shit, I'd read that book. That's not what happened here, folks.
For the gram.
I don't know how the young people talk, okay?
Fuck, my whole train of thought is gone. God damn it.
There's a reason why Misfit is in charge of the social media. I just sort of lurk and occasionally do the sexy voice. That is the extent of my contribution.
So plot-wise, we're at the binding circle that she puts Leon in.
Yes.
Right, yes.
That's plot-wise. She puts Leon in a binding circle. An idea that she does.
Yeah, through Google. Through the power of Google, you can binding circle a demon.
I'm I'm not saying you couldn't find something of that flavor
It's
if you
just that
looked
it
for
worked.
it. That, and apparently she says that the site apparently has been updated since the 90s. And like, that is the dial-up internet era. What the fuck were they doing in the 90s?
Also,
back to
why
this.
was it not in the grimoire? Why did we need to go to Google for this? Like, legitimate
Because she
question.
lost the grimoire.
Because you lost the
Oh,
grimoire,
right, she lost it by that point.
canonically,
Because
you forget what is in the grimoire when you do not have it.
Yeah,
Right.
because the MacGuffin isn't there at the moment.
Mhm.
All right, the real reason why she gets all of her demon binding information off of Google is because the important characters are doing stuff with the grimoire.
Yeah, just a little. But yes, it does lead to the fear play scene as Leon does get out of the binding circle by making Cheesecake roll on this chalk to break the line, which is kind of a smart move.
Genius move, by the way. Genius move.
Is it okay? Legitimately, though, is it genius or is she just really slow and dumb? Because if I was in the situation that I'd made a chalk circle for a demon and I saw my cat slowly walking over towards it, I would just pick him up.
I think she was just worried about I think in the book it says she doesn't realize he's there until he's like almost on top of the circle, and I think she's just worried about getting close to the circle so that Leon might grab her.
But theoretically, he can't exit, even like a piece of his body can't exit the circle.
To be fair, she's also unsure of how well it works. It's like it's keeping him there for now, but who knows?
Are we advocating like, no, Your Honor, you see, she's just timid and stupid? Or like, either way, Ray does not come out of this looking good.
It wasn't the best moment for her. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Defeated by Cheesecake, of all people.
I love that cat. I will defend that cat's honor.
Cheesecake.
No, Cheesecake can do no wrong in this situation. Just I'm stressing that many people get one over on Ray during the course of this book, including her own cat.
Look, sometimes you're just really peak wet cat. And unfortunately, I have to empathize with Ray being a peak wet cat girl.
I get it.
Ray is more than just a wet cat, especially in this upcoming scene. She is the whole drowned basket of kittens. Because in this scene, like, he plunges the whole place into darkness. Again, she can only really see his glowing eyes staring at her forebodingly, and
I don't know. I kind of like this scene. Kind of hot.
It's a really good scene. Yeah,
I know, and like,
pretty good.
That's the thing, though. In that scene, there's a split between what you would do normally and what this book would do, what this genre would do.
I mean, I would sleep with the demon, but that's just me.
Listen,
Again,
I'd have done sold my soul. Like, as soon as he was like, yeah, just give me your soul, I'd been like, bet, cool, let's go.
I know, because there really doesn't seem, even Elder Gods notwithstanding, there really doesn't seem to be a downside to that whole arrangement.
Right? There's no problem.
Yeah.
Done.
And there's a line early in the book where she's like, my soul was already his. And then it's the rest of the book before she actually gives it to him. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we continuing to have this discussion when you've already said
denial is a powerful drug.
It is, and it's also kind of necessary for her to keep holding off giving him her soul so we continue to have a book.
Okay, respectfully, why exactly is it necessary for it to be an artificial for it to be Leon's choice versus it being a contract?
Because a lot of the subtext in this book is just text.
Yeah.
All right, like, I complained about this in the previous episode, shit just sort of happens to these characters, man. Like, this book entirely exists to set up both the setting and the plot for other characters who, funnily enough, we meet over the course of the book. The rest of it is just excuses to, marvel at the prehensile demon dick.
Is it prehensile? I don't think it's
I'm
prehensile.
convinced that it is, given some of the shit they get up to. It was never explicitly confirmed. I checked, but I don't know, man. Normal. Look, as the only possessor of that particular plumbing in the Zoom call, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, yeah, no, we don't. Most guys I know don't have that Swiss Army function.
Well, get better.
Ouch. Okay, say what you're really thinking, Misfit. Yeah, so so they fuck.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously there's a bit more to it than that, but that's, he's scary, she soils her britches, but not in the usual sense, and yeah.
Wait, you've never been so scared you've, come a little?
No.
Okay.
That is your shtick.
Just a digital high five for you, Misfit.
Bam.
I know better than to infringe on your territory.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's all of the, say what you will about other things around the smut scenes. The smut scenes themselves are all written pretty well. Certainly read worse.
Minus,
absolutely.
I loved the nipple piercing scene. I fucking adored it. Actually,
it was very good.
It was great. Yeah. Everyone out there listening to this, please don't fucking try that. Go to a proper piercer.
That is 100% fantasy. It's a great, fucking amazing scene, and we'll probably talk about more about it when we get to it in context. But yeah, it's an amazing scene, but don't do that at home.
Please don't do that at home.
As somebody who's had her nipples pierced.
Please don't do a lot of this at home, really, unless... I don't know, man. Again, the sex scenes are good because we theorized that the author probably has some experience in a few of these particular situations. But yet, seriously, make sure your partner's both up to date and fully down to clown if you try to replicate some of these things. Otherwise, remember, folks, it's a fantasy.
Yeah. But then after the fear play scene, which is really good. And I don't really have too much to actually say other than, hey, they continue to practice safe words, which is good.
I mean, we went into the sex scenes a bit last time. There really isn't much more. It doesn't get. We'll talk about the piercing scene in a bit, but that's about as. It doesn't get much kinkier.
Yeah, we got the consensual non-consent scene too.
Yeah,
I know, but that was. I'm going to be honest. I have my issues with that scene, and that it has nothing to do with the. It has nothing to do with the kinkiness of it, and everything to do with the. Is there really time for this?
Yes, there is always time.
There's always time.
There's always time.
I feel like there wasn't time for a lot, but we just suspend our disbelief. Okay, we'll get into it more, but I feel like the things that this book is trying to be keep pulling it in different directions and contradicting with each other in ways just make everything more difficult to suspend the disbelief.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get into that later. So next is the scene where Leon and Ray kind of get high. And Leon is like, hey, I gotta leave because I still gotta find my mark. This is what you do. Don't fucking leave the house. like unless you're like during that night, stay in, burn all of this stuff. And we also learn later that he's coming back every night to essentially watch over the house.
Is this after he like fake breaks up with her or whatever?
It's kind of a fake breakup.
It's like super fake breakup.
Yeah. He's essentially just like, I have to go. I have to go find my mark.
This is where I had an issue with Leon. I fucking hate that bullshit. Don't like bring big emotions into this and then like just bail out. Talk to me. Give me a heads up. Be like, hey, I actually have shit that I need to go do. Like really important things. Don't make it seem like, oh, I'm mad at you for X, Y, and Z, and I gave you X amount of time to do said thing. And then now I'm going to leave because you didn't meet my expectations, because that's mean.
Hey, he's very busy. He's got a long day of not winning fights ahead of him.
I mean, that was kind of a bit during, like, right before the Fear Play scene where he was doing that. Because the scene where they're getting high and just sort of sitting there talking, he doesn't. It's a very small scene.
Oh, okay.
It's very short, where he's just like, "Hey, I still haven't found my mark, and you have not given me your soul, so I'm gonna go. This is what you need to do." And you know how to find me if you change your mind, even though he comes back every night. But she doesn't know that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I remember this now. Yeah.
I mean, it's not the most awkward morning after I've ever seen, but it's up there.
Yeah. And then we get, like, time passes. Like we get some stuff that happens over the course of like a couple of weeks where Ray decides to stay with Anaya for a little bit, which Leon is like, great, people around, less chance the Elder gonna come get you. Great, this is sort of what I wanted, but you just didn't go far enough. And then we find Leon learns where the grimoire is from Zane. We get confirmation that Zane and Juniper are a thing, and that Juniper's back here to kill.
I didn't care to begin with, but okay. Good for them. Yeah, the thing about Zane and Juniper is that they are the pair where shit actually happens, but we're not allowed to see it. So there's this fun bit where Leon is like, all right, I'm going to go off and do my thing and probably get killed because, again, we've established I do not win fights. And Zane, almost as if he knows full well what the plot has in store, literally grabs the little fucker by the throat and is like, don't do that. Don't be a dumbass.
It's kind of a relationship.
And we get to see Leon be a brat for a little bit, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a role reversal kind of thing.
It's less heartening because it's almost like Zane is preternatural awareness of Leon's actual role in the plot, because he's not there to be cool. He's there to make everybody else look cool by virtue of whooping his sorry ass, which is what happens when he does finally track down Everly.
Yep.
Because there's an archdemon named Callum. And that's about as much information as I got about it, because this is the only scene where he fucking shows up.
Yes, he really doesn't come into play until book 3. Like, he also only has one scene in book 2 as well.
Yeah, he basically shows up long enough to beat the redheaded stepchild out of Leon, and then Everly shows up, is like, okay, you're falling hard for Book Talk Velma, so I guess you're cool. And then she leaves to go do plot stuff.
Yeah. Very small point of order about that whole scene is that it's described that, like, they hear the piano from upstairs, and then when Everly comes down, she's got, like, imprints of rope from play on her wrists. And I'm like, either you were able to play the piano or you were in the middle of a scene, not both. Very confusing.
But wait, what if she was tied up playing the piano?
So fun fact is I've read all 3 books and I know the context of this scene if you want it.
I kind of do want the context.
Please, I will take any explanation.
The house that they're in belonged to Everly's coven, so the house is fucking magic.
That much I got.
Mm-hmm. So there are spirits and ghosts in the house, and one of the spirits and ghosts is playing the piano.
Oh, well.
So the ghost is providing the mood music for their scene because they're a homie?
Yes.
I love that, though. What a good ghost.
What in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is this shit?
I want a ghost that's going to play my mood music. That's hot. Let's go.
Or Spotify, that works too.
No.
No.
Why Spotify when you have a ghost?
Why Ghost when you have Spotify?
We're just two very different people.
One of them,
I don't know,
presumably doesn't involve death.
Just the idea of live accompaniment to a scene where, like, they will adjust the dynamics of the piano playing based on what's happening is just so funny for me. Like changing the meter, changing the pace, changing the dynamics. Like it gets more intense as the scene gets intense.
Sure I've seen this happen in a Kink club before.
Like, okay, amazing. It's just like having Jeremy in your house all the time.
Well, was there a chair in the corner? The odds were he probably was there the entire time.
Piano bench, yeah.
Piano bench.
Whoa. Oh, God.
I've connected the 2 dots. From this.
The tumor, it grows.
See myself out. I'm so sorry.
We get the scene where we meet Everly and Callum, and Leon gets his mark from the grimoire. And there's a big whole thing where it's essentially you're falling in love with her. Okay, I guess I can trust that you haven't been sent by my dad to bring me back. And then,
the Callum and Everly relationship, I'm assuming, is part of one of the later books.
Book 3.
It just gets dropped in here, and it just immediately seems so much more interesting than everything going on with Ray and Leon. It's just a shame.
That might as well be the tagline for the entire fucking book.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but rereading the final chapters just reminded me of just how much of a fucking anticlimax this book has.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of like a spooky love story than with a lot of sex.
A love story implies that there was some kind of will they, won't they, or pushback, or any kind of element wherein their relationship is not... Her reluctance doesn't make any sense. The only reason why she's hesitant is because the plot still needs to happen, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and it does play into some of the themes that we'll definitely talk about like later as well. Just sort of like generally, it's I am aware of how your brain works.
I get why we're here. I understand why we're here. It's not for deep, provoking commentary on the nature of relationships.
It's to say demon tickle said,
among other things, yes. I don't get why the whole plot with the Hadleys and the sacrifices and the elder god or whatever the fuck is really just so much filler at a certain point. Speaking of which, we should talk about the Halloween party.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
next
God.
is the Halloween party.
Which, funnily enough, you made a joke about this. I don't know what the context was, Ilona, but you made a joke about fucking Ray losing her glasses and like the whole Velma. Like she dresses up as Velma for
100%.
the Halloween party.
She dresses up as Velma, and it is a personal pet peeve that this girl needs to get her freaking glasses tightened because of the number of times it is described that she pushes up her glasses or needs to adjust her glasses. Very much Mr. Velma.
Sucks.
I am one of those people who constantly pushes up their glasses.
The same.
Get them tightened. It's free.
Never. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Ilona, don't argue with them. They might come. Trust me, I've tried.
Ray decides to go to the Halloween party at the Hadley Mansion to try and find anything supernatural she might use to protect herself, among other things.
It's
sound idea. Bad execution.
It doesn't.
Bad execution.
Yeah, it doesn't go to plan. Jeremiah nearly roofies her. Granted, we'd already established. I mean, okay, I think the book was trying to establish that Jeremiah was a grade A creep to begin with. Here's the thing: Jeremiah is such a fucking non-character that it's hard for me to tell whether or not this is consistent to his actual character or not.
He's always portrayed as a creep.
He's portrayed as a grade A asshole from the start.
I know, but he has like
constantly
zero
overstepping boundaries and being like, "Oh, he didn't hang out with my sister. Maybe you'll hang out with me." Or, "Hey, I found you. Why haven't you been hanging out with us at lunch?"
I know again, but he's not really a character. Is the thing? No more so than really any of the Hadleys.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a really sad frat boy.
Yeah, just a little.
He's just sort of there, much like a lot of the characters in this book. He's there to either be an obstacle or... No, actually, he's really just there to be an obstacle.
Yeah.
But she gets roofied by the obviously roofied drink and gets saved by Juniper and meets up with Leon again and is like, "Oh my God, you're here," because we know that he's been coming back, but she does not.
Yeah. He also does not tell her in this moment that he found the sigil. He keeps that part hidden.
But there's no time for the thing that he's literally spent the entire book looking for. We need to get nasty in somebody else's house.
We haven't seen each other for a couple of weeks at this point.
She's been dreaming about the demon dick.
It's the demon dick. I'm sorry.
I get it. She wants to sit and spin on that thing. The thing probably rotates, but that's not the point right now. That's not the point right now. You're in the middle of your fucking infiltration mission.
Arguably, the reason that she was doing the infiltration mission was because she felt unsafe with Leon not being around, and now Leon is around, so we can wait a little bit.
She felt more safe infiltrating the house of the people that Leon's already confirmed to her are trying to sacrifice her to Cthulhu.
Yeah. She was there already.
She willingly went there.
Genuinely baffling choice, but it was already made.
Yeah.
I get it on the level. I've made some pretty dumb choices like that in my life. So, like, I get it.
If she was able to Google a demon binding circle successfully and get it off of a site from the 90s, I imagine she would have been able to Google a couple extra spells, is all I'm saying.
You know, I'm genuinely curious. Who was putting the fucking goetic magic out on the interwebs back in the dial-up era? I want to know about that guy.
Debuted.
What's his deal?
Yeah, do they come up again in the series? I need to know.
Not as far as I remember.
Oh, dang. I thought it was her dad. I genuinely thought it was her dad.
That would have been a really cool
that would've been
twist,
cool.
but
That would have made too much sense.
yeah.
Seriously.
Okay,
Missed
so like
opportunity.
in defense to the fucking in the homeowners like room, A, party, sometimes it's fun. B, I do understand a little bit the logic behind let's just get it out of our system so our anxiety goes down. I get that. I also do understand where the logic comes in of time constraint. But like, it's a lot easier to do things when you're not hyper anxious.
Yeah.
Okay, look, here's the thing though. So once they're done doing the nasty, they go down and find Ken Hadley's occult rumpus room, and the dude's just fucking sitting there. And what's even worse, he's smoking a cigar.
No, he's actually in the bedroom when they come out of the rumpus room.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like, that's my point, which just makes me feel like, motherfucker, were you listening in the whole time?
Probably. Like a creep.
Yeah. But
it's such an unintentionally hilarious moment because, like, I know Freud once said that sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but in this instance,
a little bit more than that. But also it is really nice to see a consensual non-consent scene done properly in a book.
Agreed. I thought they handled it very well.
Because that is, I think, is one of the things that I feel like a lot of people misunderstand.
Big time.
When talking about kink is things like consensual non-consent.
It's a thing, and like it is one of the few times where the submissive actually has all of the power.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was really nice to see healthy fear play, both in the previous scene and then carrying through into the CNC. It very much, it all feels like it's intentionally within Ray's boundaries, which is really, really lovely to see and really rare in CNC dark romance in general.
I did appreciate, coming from like a professional kink background, how the attention to detail and how much they emphasize safe play.
Oh yeah. It is so nice. I mean, we've got all of the scenes other than the nipple piercing scene, but that's purely fantasy.
Honestly, upon rereading, the sexy times at the Hadleys were kind of ruined by the idea of Ken Hadley presumably sitting behind a fucking like Scooby-Doo like library wall, being just like, kids these days, as he lights up another stogie. Because I'm sorry, like there's creepy and then there's unintentionally hilarious.
No, that's fair. But also Ray does learn about the binding circle. I was in the rumpus room and sort of like a little bit more about Leon's past, about like, yeah, no, I was just locked in here for like 100 years off and on.
I'll be honest, that bit very much felt like tropey, classic, make you feel sympathy for the dark romance deuteragonist, and it didn't feel particularly involved or in, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me.
Again, I feel like it's just more symptoms of this book being so fucking tonally confused at times. I get that you want, like, one of your main POV characters to feel sympathetic. It would help if, like, we actually, I don't know, trying to get sympathy for the demon probably would be more compelling if the demon acted like a demon or was allowed to do anything demonic at any given point to anyone other than Ray. Leon is handicapped by the narrative from the get-go, because if he does any of the shit that he's purported to do, then the plot can't happen. If he kills any of the Hadleys early, which is what he clearly wants to do, the plot can't happen. Therefore, he can't kill any of the Hadleys. If he... Like, again, that's just the most egregious example. There are others, but that's like... It's hard for me to find him anything more than a demon dick to spin on, because he doesn't really have much going for him other than the fact that he's one of the few dark romance monster fucker protagonists that's actually into aftercare. Like, that's the most unique thing about him.
You know what? In that instance, that's enough.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's like, there are things that I've seen in other books that same kind of idea, but they don't do it as well as they do in this book. So that is one of the things I appreciate of having a character. One of the things I talk about sometimes in reading dark romance is I have to feel like these two people actually care about each other by the end. I don't want to feel like the female interest has just been gaslit into this relationship. I actually want to feel like they care about each other.
I don't know, man. Like, I think honestly, this would all be more compelling if they dropped like a good 50% of the urban fantasy elements and just focused on the, kinky shit, because clearly that's where the writer really excels.
I know
that way,
I can agree with some of that for sure.
Yeah, like that way, I don't know. It probably going to keep harping on this point, but the book suffers for trying to do other things besides the wicked demon porn.
Yeah, and I mean, I do wish that maybe some things were held back for books 2 and 3. But also I don't know necessarily how Harley wrote them. I don't know if she did this whole thing and then cut it up, or if
I don't know.
There is a little bit of like, okay, because there's certain times where, like, since all the books happen roughly the same period of time, there is part of me that wonders that, like, how the writing process for the series was she kind of technically writing all 3 of them at once, and then unfortunately sometimes, especially, it feels like there were choices so that they don't lock themselves into like specific things happening in later books. Like, if, especially after, like, because like Zane will just drop off the map for like half the book, but that's also, it's just so she's not like locking herself into, oh no, I have to have this scene with Zane. I have to have it make sense with the other books.
I know, but that's the problem, because the biggest, honestly, and this is something, the biggest problem as a writer is dealing with the mental hurdle of, I, as the creative, know what's going on, so therefore these decisions make sense to me. The problem is the Johnny audience member doesn't know that, doesn't have a window into your head. Therefore, it can be difficult when you have the plot and you have the characters, you have their motivations in your head, and everything that they do makes sense to you. But then translating that onto paper, it can be really fucking challenging, especially in this instance, because for whatever reason, she chose to have ostensibly the entire series all happening at once, as opposed to be more chronological sequels, which is an interesting format, But in practice, it just means that a lot of nothing happens to our POV characters in the first book.
And I'm not sure if
So-
there's like an explanation in the later books as to why exactly Kent goes about the scene with Ray and Leon the way that he does.
Yeah.
But I just hated it. I didn't believe a single bit of what Leon was doing or Kent was doing, given their relationship, given the antagonism between them. And like, to your point, Audrey, we do get the feeling that Leon genuinely cares for Ray, even at this sort of like midpoint in the book. So like him not going directly after Kent because he's got a gun pointed at Ray makes some sense with that like plot line. But everything else about it, just given that Kent just dies off screen later, it feels so silly.
That's because it is. He's there to literally be, Mr. Bond for a couple of pages, and then he fucking dies.
Mm.
Like, that's it.
But
But like, doesn't he die for his kid, or doesn't his kid kill him? I don't remember.
it is implied that actually no, I think he kills himself. I think
It's reported as a suicide in the newspaper, but it's implied that the son killed him as a sacrifice to the old god to
it's actually
be the
Victoria
sacrifice
the
from that family.
sacrifice. Victoria's the
Right,
sacrifice.
right.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh.
it's Juniper that kills him, I think.
Mm.
Oh, right.
Right. Juniper does a lot of the action heavy lifting.
Yeah, I want to know more about them. What book are they in?
Book 2.
Bet.
Yeah, book 2. But yes, moving on, before we continue going down this rabbit hole, because I don't think there's a satisfying answer no matter how much we talk around it.
Fair.
The only one, and trust me, we're the only ones getting satisfied in this arrangement isn't the fucking audience, that's for sure.
Damn.
I just enjoy Protective Leon.
I do too. I also enjoy Protective Leon.
I think this is a point where he starts calling her baby girl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think my biggest hurdle for the relationship between Ray and Leon, my plot structure critiques aside, is that this ain't for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
I am so not the target audience for this. I understand the appeal on a technical level, but Leon is such a fucking pushover, man.
But as they do escape, they do run into the Golem, who is another kind of emissary of the god. I just kind of pictured him as the elf, but more rotted and bigger.
Still spooky. Still effectively creepy. Get like a bit of a fight scene out of it, giving Leon another win. Although again, this is like his only other win in the book.
No, he kills several people there in the convenience store. We actually see him kill several people at the convenience store.
I know, but that's my point. Like, I rescind my previous thing. Okay, he does get wins in, but I realized something. He kills the mooks. He kills the faceless grunts. He doesn't actually get... He's polishing off the level 1 goblins. That's not really impressive if you stop to think about it for more than 2 seconds.
I find the descriptions of both the Eld and the Golems to be sufficiently creepy that the fact he's able to take them down does feel like something.
Do I wish we'd seen more of him taking you down? Yes, but also it is...
I feel like it would be more effective if we saw the Eld or the Golems or really anything associated with the old god actually do anything other than stalk Ray. Because they just kind of show up and be scared. But yeah, but Cheesecake's fine. Like, if the most shenanigans the servants of elemental evil get up to is steal someone's cat, like, come on.
To be fair, the golem is kind of introduced to the same scene that is fought and killed in.
I know, because again, there's not enough time. Like, the plot needs to happen, and it needs to happen to more important characters than these two.
So yeah, it happens. Ray sees another vision of the god before going unconscious and waking up in the hotel room outside of Abellum with Leon.
And now we have the nipple piercing scene.
Yes.
Great scene.
And now the main event.
Look, at least they described using disinfectant. I'll give them credit for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. God, no,
but there was also a lot of motion going on.
There's a
and
lot
that
of motion.
strikes me. That strikes me as fundamentally very, very bad.
Oh, yes.
Well, there's the point where he says, okay, now be very still.
For one of the two.
For one of the two. Yes. Which is, a thing. Yay. Audience, please don't do this at home.
Please don't do this at home.
Please,
it's a really
don't
scene. Enjoy it. Go to a professional.
Don't fucking do this.
So many thoughts all at once. I was going to say, as someone who's had their nipples pierced, the second one is always worse.
Oh, yes,
because
100%.
You're already in shock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, 100%. I also had mine for like a good 4 years done.
We've known each other for about a year, Misfit. Every time we do one of these things, I learn more about you. I've learned more about.
I've had like 18 piercings in my life.
Folks, I have learned more about my friend Misfit in the span of 2 book reviews than I have in the last year of my life.
What can I say? I'm a very private person until I'm not.
That's fair. Just
to be fair, most of the time we were hanging out, we were playing vampires.
Sorry, continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just, oh god, they're fun, but oh my god, getting them done it sucks.
I find it very interesting that he went for piercings and not like a tattoo.
Yeah, that's just the thing. Even though it definitely seems like piercings are like the way they mark people, because he marked Zane with the tongue piercing.
True. Maybe that's just his thing.
That's what I thought. I thought it was just his thing that like he likes using metal and piercings to mark.
Yeah, it's just his that's the explanation, folks. It's just his thing.
Just his thing. All demons have a different way. Like I think if I remember correctly, all demons have like a different way of marking people. Just Leon's.
Yeah. It's not
fair enough. And at least in this particular scene, we get more than just demon dick. We get the actual use of toys.
Yes.
I do support the use of toys.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not sure what the usage of a comically large dildo really is at that point when he already has another comically large dildo attached to him at all times.
You can't really pierce her nipples like that.
While fucking her. So he made her sit on it. I get it. I got it immediately. I was like, oh, that's actually a really unique way of dealing with like the pain of getting a piercing. I wouldn't do that. Hell no. But I get it. I get it on a level.
Yeah. I understand it mechanically and story-wise.
Mhm.
Mechanically, I'm wondering how many stretches she had to do before.
Look,
That thing
as
is
was said in the previous episode, Ray just has no bones, and we accept
No
this.
bones.
No
No
bones.
bones.
No
good
bones.
because
No
good
bones.
because anatomically speaking, that thing should be tickling the bottom of her digestive tract.
And it probably was.
It probably was, yeah. And hey, listener, if you want a no bones sticker, let us know.
Uh,
But yeah. I get the concept, but oh Lord, this is where my suspension of like disbelief is.
this is where you're suspended.
Yeah. This is where I actually have an issue because, like, I worked at a tattoo shop. I've had to help people sit up after fainting from getting piercings, and like I know the safety part of it, and like that was my world for a long time. So I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you like? I get it on a level, but like I have such a hard time suspending my reality.
It is, as somebody who's gotten a lot of piercings and a lot of tattoos, I understand that 100%. It was a scene where I went, this is a choice. I understand that it's
a choice.
It's, if you don't think too hard about it, it's hot. But then as somebody who has had their nipples pierced, I'm just like, woof. I had to just sort of lay there for a minute after I had mine done, just being like, yeah, I'm fine. Please hand me that incredibly baggy shirt over there.
Give me my tightest fucking bra, please. And like, oh god, I know we haven't got there yet, but oh Lord, her falling in that dirty ass water, all it was like infections. Oh my god. As soon as piercings entered the chat, folks, I was like, I can't with this. Oh my gosh.
It was, I'm just like, I just have to believe that Leon cleaned them later. Cleaned them very, 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 very well later.
Oh god. Yeah, that's I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Piercings entered the chat, and I was like, oh god, reality, hello, what's up? How are we doing today?
Yeah. But then after that scene, that's kind of where everything starts to happen after that scene. Yeah,
the pacing picks up, but honestly not in a good way, more like we gotta wrap this shit up.
Yes and no. It's very much just like, okay, Ray has to go back and get some things, and there's the hope that everything will be fine, but Leon's there, so a lot happens on hope. It's not the best choice, but it does, and
it's not a choice. They need to be, despite all common sense saying you should probably just book it. They have to be back in a Bellums.
They have to get cheesecake.
You know what? Fuck cheesecake. I'm sorry.
What? How dare you? How dare you?
You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to be the asshole. I'm sorry. If this bitch is the only thing between Cthulhu not wreaking hell on Earth, I'm sorry. Cheesecake ain't worth it.
Listen, if, for example, we started a zombie apocalypse happen and it was me or my dog, guess what? I'm going to get bit. My dog won't. I'm such an animal person, though.
Again, I get it. This book was not for me. But there, even I, at a certain point, got to be like, look, if given the choice between a chubby boy and the rise of Cthulhu, I'm sorry. I'll feel bad about it, but I'm not about to inflict the tentacular spectacular on the rest of creation for one cat. I'm just not.
Yes, but so what happens is they return to Abellum. They decide to spend a night in. Ray needs to get food, so that's how she ends up at the convenience store. And we learn that I'm pretty sure that like 90% of this town is in this cult.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And, Jeremiah shows up to be all spooky. Leon finally gets to look cool for 2 seconds before it turns out Jeremiah has been on them. He's got those fucking Eldritch God steroids or some shit. To be perfectly honest, we've never seen any evidence of this being a thing before. It's more so Jeremiah doesn't die immediately.
The god has granted people power before because it's how the 3 people survived in the mine.
I know, but here's the thing.
Other than eating everyone.
It comes out of left field. Again, if you rack your brain really hard and squint, it kind of makes sense. But in reality, it's because Jeremiah, the smirking douche, can't die yet. The plot demands that he survive. And it's frustrating because I really wanted to see Leon rip him several new ones.
I think we all did.
I mean, like, come on. Don't deny us this.
But they escape barely. And Leon comes in, fights the Reaper.
Yeah, which...
Another very cool monster thing that I want to know more about.
Yeah, but also why?
Because Reapers hunt demons.
I know, but the Reaper... Okay, literally, the Reaper doesn't kill him because plot. Everything I've heard about the Reapers so far is that they are the be-all, end-all of demon kind. You under no circumstances fuck with these guys. And the Reaper doesn't do the one thing that it has been foreshadowed to do the entire time, because at the very end of the chapter, I swear, he looks at a copy of the rough draft and says, "Oh, okay, apparently you've still got scenes here and here, so I guess I can't off you. Cheers," and then just fucks off.
Yeah, it's implied that there's something to do with a different god that is taking pity on the fact that Leon is actually in love with Ray. But it's poorly explained, in my opinion.
It's bad. It's bad. The plot needs to happen, and at this point, the author's not even being subtle about it.
And sometimes the plot just has to happen.
I know, but it makes for really fucking boring reading. And the climax of this book sucks. It's such, especially given everything we've been ramping up to, it's such a fucking non-climax.
What, you don't like a good little cock tease every once in a while?
They made that... Okay, so for context, for those listening in, she finds Leon beaten into something resembling beef stew. So they can both be in a helpless position, so Jeremiah can, and the rest of the cult can drag them off. She gets thrown down the plot opening. And that's where we actually meet the god.
Mm-hmm.
And the author commits the mortal sin when characterizing eldritch entities, which don't make it monologue. Don't make it monologue. That kills the fucking terror every time.
I don't know. I like the monologue.
If you're gonna if you're gonna include an eldritch being that's older than the earth, endless lies dreaming and shit, don't humanize it. Don't give it an evil villain speech. That just kills whatever aura of mystique it had. Especially incongruous with how it's described, which in fairness is very eldritch and very unknowable and really makes your head hurt to really think about. But it's entirely contrasted by the fact that it has an evil villain speech prepared instead of doing the thing that it's been ramping up to do this entire time, it decides to take a moment to monologue at the protagonist. And that's honestly, that's where I just gave up. Like I was really trying to remain invested, and I just couldn't after that.
If ancient evil eldritch being, then why hot?
Okay, but they don't do anything with the hot. This was
They
an
don't
actual
do anything
opportunity
with
to fuck a different actual monster, and it was not taken again.
That's because their soul belongs to Leon.
I know, that's a cop-out. You're seriously telling me that the ancient unknowable creature that even the Reaper fears is foiled like a Saturday morning cartoon villain because of bureaucracy?
I mean, to be fair, that is classic demon shit.
That is so classic demon shit.
It is very classic demon shit. Mm-hmm.
It's haha, you can't take her soul because I already have it.
Nana nana boo boo, it's mine, not yours.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how this book ends. This is such a fucking non-climax. Because forget my gripes about the characterization. Forget the last-minute loophole. She just kind of is there, and Leon is also bees there.
She does stab the god,
but
she stabs the god and does a series of very intentional self-harm.
Yeah, but again, she's not the protagonist. She's not. She wakes up later. The church is on fire. Jeremiah is dead. She literally gets an assurance from Juniper, like, yeah, okay, babe, you could go home now. Like, you're done. And it just sort of ends. And fucking...
Yeah, coming back to the Hadleys all being dead and Juniper having done it all did not feel like it was a good conclusion to Leon's arc.
It wasn't a good conclusion, period. Like, it... Oh, I hate the ending so much because it feels like,
go ahead.
I don't know. It feels like the author realized, shit, I need to wrap this up. And so she does. As the book goes on more and more, as I said, the subtext just becomes text.
From the perspective of someone that doesn't know, hasn't read the other books, doesn't exactly know what Juniper's deal is. Juniper being the one to take final revenge on the Hadleys. If Leon being subjugated to them for the 100 years that he was in the binding circle and all that jazz is supposed to be meaningful to us as a reader, him then not getting to take literally any of the revenge on the Hadleys, it feels like it cheapens it even further.
It just feels like at the end of the day, what was the point of this whole fucking plot? Both of the characters are essentially reduced to non-entities in their own story arcs. And that's only because they're so heavily involved in the whole Eldritch God plot. If it was just about the fucking, this would probably be a lot more compelling of a story. But because no. This book would have been so much better if the Hadleys were just your usual creeps. The fact that there's a prophecy and the fact that Leon has a revenge arc that goes completely unfulfilled, and because these antagonists have so much fucking plot armor and only are capable of dying off screen, it cheapens the entire experience.
But there's also something to be said about knowing when to walk away from a thing.
As in Leon walking away from the revenge plot?
Leon walking away, like Leon deciding that no, Ray is more important than all of this. It's something to be said about that of, yeah, his revenge plot is unfulfilled, but he reading the book, especially like I literally just read like the last 3 chapters again today. He doesn't feel unfulfilled. He's like, okay, I didn't get to kill him. That's fine. He doesn't seem upset. He doesn't seem mad because he's got something else that he's caring about enough that like revenge is no longer the thing that's driving him and keeping him focused and pushing him through. It's as cheesy as it is, it's love now. And it's caring for Ray. And yeah, sure, like there's a lot that's happening in this book, but I think in the end, it's fine that we don't see some of this stuff until later, because I don't mind that this book is so incredibly focused on just Leon and Ray, and we get to know them and their story. And sure, it's not big and epic, but you get the feeling these 2 characters really care for each other, and you can kind of see that grow and watch their relationship grow and blossom over the course of this book. And I think that is something special, especially in this genre. And I hate having to quantify it as things in this genre. There's a lot in here that, yes, I wish we could have seen more. I wish they could have been more interactive. But then at the point where if you keep harping on it, it's just like, at this point you should just be writing fan fiction about the thing, because if you we are the readers, and yeah, sure, we can point out these things, and in the end it's a story about 2 people that care for each other and learning sort of how they fit together. And I personally really, really enjoy that, especially in that genre.
Yeah, see, and this is where, for all my bitching and moaning, I have to come around with a giant asterisk and be like, disclaimer, I am not the target audience for this book.
Yeah.
The reason why, because you're absolutely right, but the reason why I don't give a shit is because I don't care about Leon and Ray. I really don't. It's just not the whole relationship thing is just not my cup of tea. So of course I don't find it compelling.
It essentially, you're in a genre where the relationship drives the majority of the plot at this point.
So like, if you're like me and perpetually misanthropic, then yeah, you're going to have a lot of problems with this book.
And I do agree that the relationship feels real. It feels like it develops in a very natural and like believable way. I am ultimately of the opinion that it needed to drop one of the 3 main things that it's trying to do in order to hone in a little bit better. I think it does the consensual, safe sex and very sex positive scenes really, really well. I think it develops the relationship fantastically. And then I think at the end of the day that like the urban fantasy elements, while it is really, really cool world building, I don't like that all of that happens only on Leon, the male character's chapters. Is when any of the like world building and plot stuff happens. I found those to be the most interesting because that's what I tend to enjoy more, is the urban fantasy and the world building. So I felt like I didn't quite get as much of that as I would have wanted, because it was trying to also do that in addition to some like really wonderful sex positive, kink forward sex, and this, I'll almost call it like less traditional dark romance plot, because you do get the genuine care, and Leon is a bit of a dick at the beginning, but you really get to see where it comes from. And you're right that like his main arc is about letting go of the anger that's fueled him the entire time. I also recognize, as a side note, that I am not usually the target audience for this type of stuff. I like dark romance. I like urban fantasy. I don't necessarily go in for like the brat style relationship stuff. But I think it does a lot right that others in similar genres get wrong, and I appreciate it for that.
Yeah, there's a spectrum here, folks. I'm on the far end of that spectrum, so
Pick up somewhere in the middle.
Maybe.
Like,
yeah. I mean, ultimately, you could do worse in terms of dark romance.
oh, for sure. There's stuff out there that will like encourage people to do some really unsafe things, and that's where I fucking love this book. As someone who's coming from a like a very heavy kink background, I love this book because it promotes very safe sex ideas, minus the nipple piercing scene.
That bit.
It's allowed to have one fantasy scene.
That is pure fantasy, and I'm glad we got like a serious suspension of disbelief. I'm just struggling with it because I have lots of real world experience with that.
No bones. Just
no bones. Like no bones. But like, you know, if I didn't have any bones, I would do some weird things. I get it.
Yeah, and a lot of the themes in this book are like the transformative power of love, the consensual power dynamics, survival, autonomy, and trust in a dangerous world, because it's they have to learn to trust and work with each other. It is very much like by the end they understand that like they have to work together like to survive this.
I guess for all of my personal griping, I just wish that they could have done some stuff beyond just sort of ricochet from plot point to plot point in between.
And I certainly wish the book was longer and they had more time to just flesh things out. But unfortunately, sometimes that's just how it goes. Like there are a few things that I like, even my most recent, I was like, oh, you know, it would have been really cool. Like if Rey had been revealed to have some sort of supernatural ability, even if she wasn't like a full witch, like by the end, like just tie her into that world.
Yeah, to tie her into the world a little bit better, or even if a potential supernatural power came out in that climactic scene with the god, because we've established that the god is able to give people powers, if that was part of it trying to claim her.
I mean, it also like for her, all of her talking about spirits and stuff, like what if she was like a medium?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like she was like a medium or something.
We've already established there's at least one ghost on sex piano duty, so I mean, come on. Go hog wild.
Yeah. I think something like that would have like added to it a little bit, but you know, yet again, there comes a point where you're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
I can bitch and moan about. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Just they do try to do some symbolism with the tarot scene with Everly. I don't know. As a tarot practitioner, anytime the death card comes up, I know that they're using it as shorthand because it's death and it's spooky, but it's not about.
Do you think it actually did mean like lean into the change in this, though? Not necessarily death, because death generally does mean like symbolize a change. And there definitely was a change.
It's also more so about like addiction.
True.
And that sort of overindulgence.
Certainly overindulged in demon penis.
Exactly.
I mean, can you blame her?
I cannot.
Like we said, if I had no bones, I'd do a lot of stuff.
No bones.
If I was comprised mostly of gelatin, then yes, I could probably see the appeal. But since I unfortunately have this human scaffolding, I'm afraid there are some bits where I just got to ask myself, do I really want this, or am I just more in love with the idea of it? Because the practicality of it is I'm going to have to see a doctor. I'm going to have to see several doctors.
We've been talking a lot about lube and how you got to keep things safe. No, if you need to see a doctor after a sexual experience, that does not necessarily mean it was good.
It's true.
I don't know.
It's like a hamster eating the world's biggest stalk of celery. You want to cheer the little guy on, but at the same time, you're really worried what might happen afterwards.
No, I'm gonna cheer. Well, no, I would worry.
Yeah.
And cheer. God damn it.
But I also want to shout out the narrators for the book.
I did enjoy the audio a
Gregory
bunch.
Salinas and Desiree Ketchum, who that is how I've actually enjoyed the book the most. Is I think I've listened to it like twice. And I just finished listening to the second half because I just ended up not having time to actually read. So I just ended up listening to the second half of the book and just reminding, like, especially Gregory for Leon, the way he does like Leon's voice, and it's so good. It's such a good narrator. Both of them are fantastic and really help bring the characters to life.
Yeah, a lot of the performances in Ray's chapters I found to be particularly affecting. I also listened to the audiobook.
Yeah.
I just read it, so
I read the first half. And
I
read the first half, then listened to the second half.
The second half is actually a good listen. It was a fun listen. There was a couple times where I was like, "Okay, Leon, I see you, Demon Man." I don't think I would have enjoyed the nipple piercing scene quite as much if I had just read it versus listening to it.
Yeah, they bring a lot to the scenes themselves.
They do.
Honestly, given how dialogue heavy some bits are, I could honestly say this thing probably would be more compelling as an audiobook than anything else.
You should give it a listen, Ty. You should.
At least like a couple of chapters.
The later chapters.
Yeah, like start the second half of the book.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, like, we know full well that it gets particularly hot and heavy, right? And I imagine the audiobook only enhances that quality. But again, that's just really not my jam. The reason why I'm harping and bitching and moaning and complaining so much about the extraneous elements is because, unfortunately, those are the only elements I find halfway interesting.
That's fair.
Again, because I'm just not the fucking target audience for this thing. I made it pretty clear in the first recording that, like, in real life, I tried to get into the kink scene, and I found very clearly it just wasn't for me. Just did not get my goat in any way, shape, or form.
And that's very valid.
So as an end result, it's just the sex scenes, as well written and as surprisingly self-conscious as they are, just that it doesn't do it for me. And unfortunately, that's the appeal of this thing in very real terms. So
also fair.
That's just kind of where we're at.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do we want to give our final ratings?
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good time to give final ratings. Out of how many blood bags would you rate the book?
We're doing out of 5, right?
Yeah, out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5. It's a solid 3 out of 5 for me. Like, it gets points. It gets points for attempting to create a compelling kink forward romance that isn't complete nightmare fuel if you think about it for more than a few seconds. But at the same time, it's trying to do too much with too many people when only focusing on 2 people. So I still maintain that your demon boyfriend ain't shit. I'm sorry.
I likewise give it a 3 out of 5 because it tries to deliver on three very separate things. It tries to deliver a monster fucker, it tries to deliver a sex positive smut book, and it tries to deliver on urban fantasy. And because it's trying to do all of those three, it doesn't really end up doing any of them especially well, other than probably the sex positive smut. So overall, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. And probably try to find something that was more focused on one of those genres for my personal enjoyment in the future.
I would say, yeah, probably 3 out of 5. I really like it because it is so positive in the kink aspect. The plot was a little weird, but it did do something interesting, which makes me really want to read the other 2 books. It pulled me in enough for that. So like, it's a really good opener for the other books because it feels like it's going to hook you with good demon smut and then give you some interesting story beats later on. And I dig that. I'll bite. I'm a biter. I'll do it.
And my rating will be a 4 out of 5 blood bags because demon boyfriend go brrr.
Do you think it's retractable?
No.
What?
It
Absolutely
must.
not.
Retractable.
They mentioned
must
gray
be.
sweatpants. They
Yeah, they
mentioned
must be.
sweatpants.
They did mention gray sweatpants. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the thing is, like, the way, unless he wants to sit on his own testicles every time he gets into a chair, it must be. Like, there's no other explanation of how he doesn't injure himself.
To be fair,
Do you
we
think
only
he's just
know
a shower, not a grower?
we know the size of the demon dick, the size of demon balls. They were much fuzzier on.
Yeah, like, not everybody accounts for that, is the thing. Like, look, as a guy, you take your life into your hands every time you sit into an unfamiliar chair. All right, I'm genuinely worried if Leon is getting testicular torsion sometimes.
Demon, does it
Okay.
matter? For that matter, does his balls look different?
I can
They didn't
only
really
assume.
describe that, so who knows? Well,
I mean, he says he could. I mean, like, the fact that they have to ask about pregnancy means that he is capable of getting people pregnant, which would imply that there were testicles at some point in consideration.
it said like witches, demons can get witches pregnant.
So the reason I'm wondering whether or not it's retractable has nothing to do with whether or not he's bursting out of his pants, and everything to do with, like, dude, if you're not careful, you might be walking funny for an entirely different reason.
But on that lovely note, I would like to reveal next month's read and theme. Next month's theme is Dark Academia, and the book we will be reading is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. Part of me was like, should I read the blurb?
Yes. Read the blurb.
Yeah, read the blurb. Actually, I just have the book in front of me because I grabbed it off my shelf. I was like, yeah, I'll just read like the inside cover, like the inside flap. It began as all things did, a girl on the shore, terrified and desirous. Effie Sayre has always believed in fairy tales. Even though crumbling under the pressure of her first term of college, she can't tell the difference between fact and fiction. Her only solace has been Angharad, an epic from Illyrian national hero and author Emrys Midran. Taken by chance, maybe fate, to the late author's estate, she's intent on finding the purpose to her own story, but instead stumbles upon Preston Hellery, a scholar from the literature college. Preston has come to Hillereth determined to prove Effie's favorite author is a fraud, and her only hope of proving him wrong is to conspire with him. But Hillereth, perched on the very edge of the wrathful ocean, holds dark secrets, the likes of which both Effie and Preston thought only existed in the pages of Meriden stories. The house and the truth might just ruin them both, as the sea threatens to swallow it, them and all of their stories whole. part historical fantasy, part rival to lovers romance, part gothic mystery, this feminist fairy tale has captivated readers with its haunting, dreamlike atmosphere.
I am very excited for this one.
If there's at least one joke about salty semen, I'm going to lose it.
So yes, next time we will be discussing the first half of A Study in Drowning. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one is actually one I have not read, so all of this will be my very first impressions. So
Why are you making me do this?
I mean, you can back out now.
No.
Then you're stuck. Welcome
to
to
be
the
fair,
club.
this one has a lower spice rating than the others. It still has spice, but it doesn't have as much.
I know, but
It's
Dark
more plot than
Academia,
spun.
it's so fucking boring, man.
Well, I certainly look forward to your rants in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they'll be there. It's not like I've got anything better to do.
Well, I don't remember how we decided to sign out, so I'm just going to say, have a good night.
Blow out a candle.
Good night.
Night.
No bones. No bones
No
whatsoever.
bones.
No bones.